before they named Jacque Vaughn their head coach, they didn't know who they wanted to be their next head coach. They had an idea that they wanted to bring on Ime Udoka. Now, we know Ime Udoka in his first season as head coach in Boston, the Celtics last year, they went 51-31. They were second in the East last year, and they went to the NBA Finals. We saw Ime Udoka elevate Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's games to the next level, something Brad Stevens couldn't do during his coaching tenure in Boston. So we know Ime Udoka is one of the best coaches in the NBA. So I believe that the Brooklyn Nets hired Jacque Vaughn as a stabilizing move because they didn't want to deal with the scrutiny that was going to come with hiring Ime Udoka. I believe Ime Udoka will get another coaching job at some point. I hope somehow he can still be the coach in Boston with Marcus Smart, with Jason Tatum, and with Jaylen Brown after this season. But I think given the fact that they had so many issues within the organization already before firing Steve Nash, I think they chose the safe route and hired Jacque Vaughn. Jacque Vaughn has a great relationship with players on that Brooklyn Nets team. So I like Jacque Vaughn. I think they talk about how he's a good man. He's a good coach on that coaching staff, and now he is the head man on the coaching staff. And he struggled in Orlando, but he didn't have the talent in Orlando that he's compared to what he's going to have in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, you got Kevin Durant. You got Kyrie Irving once he returns back to the floor. We know Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are two of the most dynamic scorers in the NBA. They are two players in clutch moments who can close. So I like the roster that the Brooklyn Nets have in place with Jacque Vaughn as head coach. Now, the problem is Ben Simmons' inability to hit perimeter shots, and honestly, him not even attempting to score the basketball. There was a game a few weeks ago. The Nets were in Milwaukee playing the Bucks, and Kyrie Irving had drove into the paint. He passed the ball to Ben Simmons, and you could literally hear Kyrie Irving screaming at Ben Simmons, "Shoot, Ben, shoot." Ben Simmons is a liability offensively for the Brooklyn Nets. And the biggest issue is he can't hit perimeter shots, but he doesn't even attempt to score the basketball. That has to change if the Brooklyn Nets want to be contenders in the Eastern Conference. They got Joe Harris back. He hit a few threes in a matchup the other night against the Knicks. They still got Seth Curry. We know Seth Curry is a tremendous perimeter shooter. You got Royce O'Neal, a player who can help you defensively. So, again, I believe the Nets, they're going to have to figure out a way to get Ben Simmons going offensively. That has to be the number one priority for Jacque Vaughn. Try to get Ben Simmons into a flow on the offensive side of the floor. Now, when you look at their defense on the Brooklyn Nets, they have some of the worst defensive statistics in the NBA. Their defensive efficiency is 113.2. That's ranked 22nd in the NBA. Their defensive rebounds per game is 30.6. That's ranked 30th in the NBA. Opposing teams' three-point field goal percentage is 39%. That's ranked 29th in the NBA. Opposing teams' second chance points per game is 15.6. That's ranked 24th in the NBA. So the defensive side of the floor is where the Nets have to improve on. You're going up against the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum, with Jaylen Brown. You're going up against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are going to get Chris Middleton back. They got Giannis. You got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in Chicago. In Miami, you got Jimmy Butler. So if the Brooklyn Nets want to be championship contenders in the Eastern Conference, they have to improve defensively.